back at K-Mine Stadium, and a real big win for Lafayette. A quick game. This game took about an hour and 25 minutes to play. It was well played on both ends. A couple of errors for each team, but some real nice hitting, timely hitting. And the 3-2 win for the Leopards. Mike Zerillo picking up 2 RBIs on a triple. And then Ben Petrone, the game-winning hit, a triple that scored Blaze Fadio. And there's all your zeros. Again, 4 hits for each team. Congratulations, by the way, to Helmick. He goes the distance. His first win in a college uniform. He moves to 1-3 on the year. And then for Navy, Bendick falls to 5-1 on the year. Lafayette 3-7 in the Patriot League. The win streak at 7 snapped for Navy. They are now 10-4 in the Patriot League. So what we do now, it's about 1:27. Game ended about 1:25. We take about a 30-minute break here at K-Mine Stadium, and then we come back for the marathon in game number 2. It'll be a 9-inning game when we do come back. I want to thank Kylie Haberstroh for pushing all the right buttons. I'm Matt Fine on the ESPN Network. Again, your final 4-3. We're back in about 30 for game number 2. Actually, before we get away, why don't we show you some highlights? I was trying to get out of the broadcast a little bit too early. Since we have the highlight package, we'll bring it to you. Here's Helmick, again on the mound, doing a pretty good job. The freshman striking out a couple of batters in the first and second innings. As we move along, you see the other gentleman, Bendick, getting the job done as well, picking up some strikeouts. Then we move to the 4th inning. And more defensive plays. Pretty well played by both teams defensively. You see the put out there by Zerillo. And then here's one of the big hits down the line in right field. That's number 16, Zerillo once again. Goes all the way to the corner. 2 runs do score. And that gave Lafayette a 2-0 lead midway through the game. This came in the 4th inning, and you can see Zerillo all pumped up, moved to the 5th. It did not take long for Navy to come back. This rocket to left field is Kierdo, a 2-run home run, tied it up at 2 apiece. Both pitchers, again, in control for the most part. But then in the bottom of the 6th inning, we're going down the line in right field once again. That's number 1. Ben Petrone knocking in Fadio. That makes it 3-2, so you move to the 7th inning now. And after that first runner getting on, that's a defensive play and a half by Michael Malice down to second base. And here is your final out. Way to wrap things up. A strikeout for the big guy in the freshman, Tristan Helmick, picking up his first career collegiate win. There are your zeros on the board right now as we reset for what will be game number 2 coming up in a little bit. But again, Lafayette looking for the sweep now after the win in game number 1, 3-2. Again, now we can wrap things up here from K-Mine Stadium. On the ESPN Network, I'm Matt Fine. See you back here in about 25 minutes for game number 2. We hope you will join us. We're back at K-Mine Stadium. There's your final score. Top left, a real nice day for Lafayette, picking up a 2-game sweep over the top team in the Patriot League. The Patriot League, unbelievable. You never know what you're going to get as you look at the line score. Lafayette coming into this game on a 5-game losing streak. Navy coming in with a 7-game win streak. Yet Lafayette picks up the win in game number 1, 3-2. They pick up the win in game number 2, 6-2. As we take a look at some of the highlights that we saw in game number 2, our game recap in the first inning. Lafayette getting on the board early. That's Ben Petrone going to right field. Ethan Swidler scores on this play. Later on in the game, that's number 7, Easton Brenner, bouncing into a double play. Some good defense this game by both teams. That one right there by Navy in the second inning. To left field and into second base as the offense continues to put up numbers for Lafayette. A lot of single-digit numbers for Lafayette. We move to the 4th inning now. A bouncer over to second base, and one of the double plays that Lafayette put together. That big one in the 4th, end of the 4th inning. And then here is number 2, Ethan Swidler, going to the wall in right center field. It scores 1 run as Lafayette took a 3-0 lead, moving to the 5th now. And more good defense, this time over his shoulder. Check out this play by the right fielder, Justin Greck, making easy work, but strikes out there to keep this game manageable for Navy. In the 6th inning, Navy gets on the board. Eduardo Diaz scores the first run of the game for the Midshipmen. But as you move to the 7th, Lafayette makes it up. A bouncer up the middle, actually. This is Navy once again scoring a run here. At least you thought so. And then you have the nice play at home plate. The throw from Easton Brenner in center field to Michael Malice stopped the rally for Navy. And then number 8 going to right center field. That's Teddy Cashman. This scores a run. It's been one of those afternoons as number 7 scores Easton Brenner. In the 8th inning now, Zerillo hustling down first base, just gets under the throw. That plates 1 run, and then a single to left field plates another run. This is Brenner. And then we move to the 9th inning with Bogosian on the hill. Right to the first baseman. Your final out here in game number 2. An unassisted play by Ethan Swidler. And that is how it wraps up with your final score. Again, 6-2 as we take a look at some of the numbers here in game number 2. Following up that 3-2 win in game number 1. A series sweep for Lafayette. So in the 5 games that these two teams played, Lafayette dropped all 3 at Annapolis. They won both here, so a 3-2 edge for Navy overall, but neither team able to pick up a win on the road. 2 real big wins for Lafayette. With that, they move to 4-7 in conference, 8-23 overall. Navy 10-5 now in conference, 19-13 overall. Coswera picks up the win. He is 1-1 on the season. So a good afternoon of baseball. A 2-hour and 15-minute game number 2, and that will do it for us at K-Mine Stadium. For Kylie Haberstro, pushing all the right buttons from Temple University up to Lafayette, I'm Matt Fine. Have a great afternoon, everyone. We'll see you back here real soon.